Hello everyone, it's Maha. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel. So last year at around this time, I made a video in response to Kelly Ann Maddox's Self-Love September series, where she asked us to share our own personal journeys with self-love. And I talked about some of the things about my own past, about my past childhood experiences, and how I've come to discover and embrace self-love in my own life till this point. And so this year, Kelly Ann has asked us again to join and participate in Self-Love September. And I wanted to participate by sharing my own personal experience with a specific subject, which is body image. In my own personal life, practically every single woman I have ever come across, regardless of age, background, or body type, has had some type of issue with their own body image in one way or another. And I wanted to make this video about this particular subject because it is very important to me. It is a theme that has been pertinent in my own life. And as somebody who fits into this illusion we have in our society of the perfect body type, I wanted to talk about my own personal experiences with my own body image and how I've come to accept it. So one fact that you didn't know about me, that I haven't shared on my channel before, is that when I was in my teens, between the ages of 14 to 19, I was a print and runway fashion model. And I'm sharing this with you today because at the time, during this time that I was modeling, I felt everything but pretty, everything but beautiful. I had a tremendously low self-esteem. I was always comparing myself to other models, other girls. I was always comparing my skin color, really obsessing over the details, and I really believed that if I had, for example, white skin, blue eyes, and light colored hair, straight light colored hair, I would be more successful in the industry. I will never forget this one time that I had a meeting with my agent at the time, who said in his own words that he thought I should get a nose job because my nose right here is just a little too big. Of course, my parents were completely against it. They made me change my agent, and that took a lot of fighting, of course, because I really did believe that I should get a nose job. Of course, now, nothing against nose jobs. I accept my nose the way it is. But I changed agents. And I remember another time when another agent cut me off from participating in the international runway modeling because I was 3/4 of an inch too short. That's this much too short. So comparing myself constantly to others, obsessing over all the little details of my face, and never thinking that I was pretty. In fact, I would even say that I looked ugly. I would criticize myself as looking ugly in most of my print photos. And the other side of it was then the pressure I got from friends and family. For example, I would be going to parties, family gatherings, and people would actually come up to me and say things like begging me, like, please don't gain any weight. Stay the way you are. Stay exactly the way you are. You're perfect. Please don't gain any weight. So of course this kind of affected me psychologically. I built this whole complex around food. I didn't want to gain any weight, not even 1 pound, because I had formed this idea, this belief that if I gained weight, I wouldn't be approved of, I wouldn't be accepted, I wouldn't be loved. Now, fast tracking till 6 years ago. This is another fact that you probably didn't know about me. 6 years ago, I had a very bad injury / accident, and I injured my back and I injured a nerve in my left knee. This is something I'm still recovering from. It's a very slow healing process. But I remember 6 years ago when I first came to Canada, because I was living abroad when I moved here to try and heal because I lost my job, I couldn't work anymore. I remember one day I was at the swimming pool. I go still to the swimming pool because the water helps me heal, it helps my pain. It's kind of a way I deal with pain. The water I find very healing. And I remember I was going into the hot tub, and the hot tub had 5 steps to go in and 3 steps to crawl into the hot tub. And I remember I was struggling up those stairs. It was like climbing up Mount Everest, just going up 5 steps because I had so much pain in my left knee and my right hip. And I remember there were some people in the hot tub that were sitting there. And I was climbing, as I was climbing, I was holding the railings, holding slowly, going very, very slowly, taking my time. I felt like a 96-year-old old woman struggling to go up the stairs. And I was so self-conscious, and I was thinking, oh great, they're probably all thinking, why is she going up the stairs like that? What's wrong with her? And so finally, when I made it in the hot tub, one of the guys turned to me, one of the guys from the few people that were in there turned to me and he said, if only we could have your body. If only we could all have your body. And here I was, stunned, like, he has no idea how I'm feeling. There were so many instances, but there was one other time where I was coming out of the swimming pool. This was some years ago when I was really bad, because I'm much better now. And I remember I was coming out of the swimming pool, and the lifeguard there turned to me and in a sarcastic way said, you should eat, because I was cold, I was shaking. He's like, you should eat more. You need to gain weight. Do you eat? That's exactly what he said to me. Do you eat? And then again, here I am thinking, he knows nothing about how I'm feeling. And to add here that ever since I was 2 years old, I've had very severe, very serious problems with my digestion. Serious. When I was 2 years old, my parents almost lost me. And then throughout my life, even today, still, I struggle with digestive issues. So one of the reasons why I've always been more skinny is because I guess because of my digestive issues as well. Just before I made this video a little while ago, I was reading a book on self-love. I don't know what book it is because I stopped reading it when I hit this particular sentence in the book where the author was talking about comparing ourselves to other people. And she was saying, how we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people, blah, blah, blah. And then at one point she said, forget about those skinny bitches. Just forget about those skinny bitches. And as soon as I read that, I thought, wait a minute, am I the skinny bitch that she's talking about? I mean, it's almost like it's okay to make the comment about a skinny person, but not the other way around. And this, of course, I'm not saying that oh, poor me, I'm skinny and I'm being discriminated against. It's not about that at all. That's not the point here. The point I'm trying to make is you don't know what someone is feeling just by looking at them. You have no idea what they're feeling, what their story is. just by looking at them. Our eyes, we use our eyes to judge. And our eyes don't tell us the truth. They don't see everything inside the person. The number of times I've been at the gym, exercising, for example, for rehab. I'm there for reasons of rehab, of getting stronger so that I can get back to my normal life. And the number of times I've come across women who are there, and mostly women, who are there for, sometimes men, but I've come across women who are there for the sole reason of losing weight. That's their goal. They're there to lose weight. And the number of times I've gotten the dirtiest looks from them, and I know what they're thinking. Probably they're thinking skinny bitch. But it's like, as if I can feel their thoughts, I can hear their thoughts. They don't have to verbalize their comments, and it's like, oh, you know, she doesn't have to worry about anything because she's skinny. And the thing is, as I'm standing there next to them sometimes, I'm thinking, if you only knew how much burning, stabbing, pain I'm feeling right now in my left knee, it's just standing here. And after 6 years of working my ass off to gain a bit of strength, to get a little bit better, I still can't go on the elliptical for more than 3 or 5 minutes on a good day. I still struggle to do normal everyday things. I still struggle to make videos for you guys without pain. So my whole point here is, and the ultimate question I guess I have, and I keep asking myself, is why is it that we want so desperately to look a certain way rather than to just be so incredibly happy that we have a body that's doing everything perfect, everything as it should, functioning right, taking us from A to B without a problem. That's the true gift of life, in my own experience. The gift of being human is being able to live a normal, everyday human life, doing normal, everyday things without pain. Not living a superhuman, not living a superhuman life or a celebrity life or a genius life, just living a normal, ordinary human life, going to the grocery store, walking to the grocery store without pain, grabbing your groceries with your arms, bringing them back home without pain, going in the kitchen and chopping the vegetables without pain, everything without pain that I still struggle to do. Picking up a cup of coffee, just bringing it to my mouth. I couldn't do that 3 years ago without pain. The shape that I was in 3 or 4 years ago, I couldn't do anything without pain. And I still struggle with it. But I'm grateful that I can sit here and make this video however long it is, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, without pain now, because I couldn't do this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I couldn't. And so I guess my wish is that we would all just be so grateful for our bodies, for everything that our bodies are doing right. Every second, every millisecond, when the cells are dividing perfectly and not turning into cancer cells, every single time we eat that piece of cake or dessert or pastry and we feel like, oh, I feel so fat, you know. I feel so fat that I ate that. I shouldn't have had that. We could eat it. Our body could digest it, break it down, absorb the nutrients or whatever, and eliminate whatever it doesn't need. Our bodies are doing so many things right. so many things right. And we don't need anything except our health. Everything else we could do, everything else we could accomplish and we could achieve, just having the health. I remember once I was watching a movie when I was feeling really sick in bed, and there was a couple having an argument, and the girl, she got really angry and she slammed the door on him. And I was thinking, I can't even slam the door right now. I don't even have the power in my arm to slam the door. I just hope that this video resonated with some of you, and that we can all try to always remember every time we open our eyes that we have our body. And even if you don't, and if you are watching this and if you're ill and if you're sick, remember that your body is still doing many things right. Even though it's doing some things not so right, seemingly, it's doing many things right. It is doing something right. It's keeping you alive. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for being here. Much love.